Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Botswana Safari live webinar event. I'm Joe Small, and it's my good fortune to be president of AHI Travel. I have a great advantage because I get to work alongside brothers Rick and Brian in this dynamic family business. In our world, we see travel as an enriching adventure, and we are committed to delivering the experience of a lifetime. Today's featured presenter is Deborah Nash, who serves as one of our vice presidents of product development and who works here in our Chicago office.
Hello, everyone.
Deb is a veteran of AHI with many years of experience. She has operated dozens of programs for us around the world. Deb, like everyone here at AHI, works hard to provide a high-value, stress-free, and enriching travel experience. We strive to attract and retain the very best travel staff in the industry. After booking, each traveler is assigned a passenger service representative to be their single point of contact for all questions. Your PSR will manage every detail of your journey, assist with any additional travel plans, and communicate your requests to our on-site staff. Your on-site AHI travel directors and guides are there to ensure that your trip is worry-free. All of our on-site leaders are experienced travel veterans and in most cases are multilingual. They're there to answer your questions and manage all logistics so you can simply relax and enjoy the experience at hand. Expert guides and local and university experts will provide insights so you can come away with a deeper understanding of all you encounter. Our personal listening devices allow you to hear all that our guides have to say. Now it's time to turn things over to Deborah, who will speak to you about our Botswana Safari program. Deborah?
Thanks for the introduction, Joe. I have traveled the world during my career here at AHI, and Africa remains close to my heart. So it's my pleasure to be your guide and lead you through this exciting journey to Botswana and Victoria Falls. Your safari will bring you to this region at the best of times. It will be winter, or more accurately, the dry season, which means the game viewing will be sensational in Chobe Game Reserve, and there will be plenty of water thundering over Victoria Falls. In addition to knowing that each accommodation has been inspected and every supplier vetted, you can travel with confidence knowing that you're with an experienced AHI travel director who will manage the logistics and guarantee the high level of service and quality that makes AHI a world leader in experiential travel. Expert naturalists and local safari guides will lead you on fascinating field trips and excursions to wildlife reserves and along the rivers and waterways. It's a remarkable adventure, and you'll enjoy it in a small group of only 21 like-minded and adventurous fellow travelers. Your first stop is the Zambezi Sun Hotel, located inside the Victoria Falls National Park. The hotel's design and finish reflect earthy colors that are inspired by an African village, with the decor enhanced by lovely native mosaics and fabrics. The property is designed to make your stay comfortable with well-appointed guest rooms and a variety of restaurants and bars, a refreshing swimming pool, and Wi-Fi service. The Zambezi River's Great Cascade is called Mosioi Tuna, or the Smoke That Thunders, by the region's Kololo tribe. Victoria Falls, renamed by Dr. David Livingston, is the Earth's largest curtain of water, spanning more than a mile as it crashes some 320 feet into the raging Batoka Gorge below. Since the Zambezi Sun is located in the park, you begin your exploration of the falls with a guided walk from your hotel along the nature paths to the falls. From strategic vantage points along a well-groomed trail, you are able to witness the power and splendor of Victoria Falls. A short transfer by road takes you across the border to Botswana and the spectacular Chobe National Park. Your safari experience is enhanced by luxurious accommodations at the 5-star Chobe Game Lodge, the only permanent game lodge within the park. You'll enjoy exquisite comfort and service and admire views of the river and floodplain where birds and wildlife are found in great profusion. Enjoy meals on the terrace and get together with fellow travelers for afternoon tea on the lodge's riverside deck. All your meals are included at Chobe Game Lodge, along with wine and beer at lunch and dinner. In the evening, retire to an elegant guest room while enjoying the lodge's tranquility and seclusion. Before we embark on today's virtual safari, a few words on the transportation during your time at both Chobe Game Reserve and the Okavango Delta. You travel in specially outfitted safari vehicles that carry 6 passengers, each with a so-called window seat, and they're covered to protect you from the African sun. The boats used for game viewing carry a maximum of 12 guests and are equipped with deck chairs and even a table for drinks and snacks. Originally only used by hunters, the term Big Five refers to 5 of Africa's greatest wild animals: lion, leopard, elephant, Cape buffalo, and rhino. In Chobe, you will have the chance to hunt all 5 with your camera as you set out each day on game viewing excursions by land and water. The game viewing while cruising the Chobe River can be described as epic. Elephants line the water's edge, hippos congregate in lagoons, hundreds of antelope and giraffe make their way to the water, and sightings of predators along the river are common, while many species of birds fly overhead. Your days start early on safari. To take advantage of your lodge's location inside the reserve, you set off early and are the first on the park's game tracks. This also enhances your chance of seeing predators who are active in the early morning. After a hearty breakfast back at the lodge, you head to the river for a mid-morning cruise for a whole different perspective on the park experience. Here, game arrives for their first drink of the day, and if you're lucky, you might spot a herd of elephant crossing the Chobe River to the floodplains of the eastern Caprivi, a very unique event. Chobe is indeed Africa's premier location for viewing elephants. The highest concentration of African elephants will be seen at the banks of the Chobe River. In some areas, you'll travel off-road and enjoy a much larger panorama of wildlife as they seek refuge and begin feeding as the temperatures at midday ease. Each day, your game drives returns just before dark. You can head back to your room to relax and refresh and perhaps enjoy a cocktail before dinner. Your game drives in Chobe will have you on the lookout for leopard or perhaps one of the resident lion prides on the prowl. Here you see a Cape buffalo at a favorite early morning watering spot. Chobe is also renowned for large herds of Cape buffalo that reside within the park. AHI Travel has arranged for an exclusive insiders back-of-the-house ecotourism tour of the lodge. Chobe Game Lodge has established some of the most groundbreaking responsible tourism initiatives in Botswana and all of Africa. The resident ecotourism manager will provide insight into what led to this lodge being the first in Africa to have an all-female guide team, the first biogas plant of its kind, and the most efficient recycling plant in the industry. At another AHI exclusive lecture, our guest speaker is a private guide and environmentalist based in Chobe. His talk will take you back in time to the geological phenomena that created the incredible Chobe and Okavango ecosystems. And you'll learn the fascinating story that finally led to the creation of the Chobe National Park and just why this ecosystem is one of Africa's most bountiful. Bid farewell to Chobe on a combination game drive and transfer to Kasane Airport. There you board a modern, light aircraft for the flight to Kakanika Airstrip, just over an hour away. En route, enjoy bird's-eye views as you fly from Chobe Plains into the Okavango Delta, designated by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site due to its unique ecosystem. Situated under a lush green woodland canopy, Camp Maremi in the Kakanika area of Maremi Game Reserve is a truly hidden gem that accommodates only 22 pampered guests. This elegant tented camp has a beautiful thatch and timber central lodge consisting of an elevated main lounge, wildlife reference library, dining room, and cocktail bar. Shaded from the African sun by a forest of ancient ebony trees, you will be accommodated in comfortable, well-appointed East African-style safari tents. Each tent is individually situated on a raised teak platform with private shower and toilet facilities, as well as a private viewing deck. Before moving on, please note your tent has a sliding door rather than tent flaps, and the bed is as comfortable as it looks. While at Camp Maremi, and Chobe Game Lodge for that matter, your stay will be enhanced by the expert-friendly staff. From camp managers to guides and chef to tent attendants, all are intent on making your visit carefree and memorable. All your meals are included here, as well as wine and beer with lunch and dinner. At the point where the life-giving waters of the Okavango Delta meet the vast plains of the Kalahari Desert, Mother Nature has created a sanctuary of mopane forests, open grasslands, seasonal floodplains, and aquatic habitats, resulting in one of the most magnificent and welcoming biodiverse environments in all of Africa. Your days begin early while in the Delta, so you have the best opportunity to see wildlife during their active part of the day. Afterwards, return to camp for a well-earned brunch and time at leisure to rest or enjoy the campgrounds. In the afternoon, gather for high tea and then depart by land or water to search for resident game. At Camp Maremi, your excursions are divided between land and water, taking advantage of your camp's ideal location where the edge of the Delta meets the Maremi Game Reserve. Your AHI travel director will consult with the guides regarding current game viewing conditions and determine the best way for encounters with residents such as this pride of lions. During your stay at Camp Maremi, a special day has been designed by the camp manager for AHI travelers. You depart camp shortly after breakfast on a day trip in the Maremi Game Reserve. This full day out enables you to get to places you would not be able to reach on morning and afternoon game drives. At midday, an extraordinary lunch is served in the middle of the bush so you can experience nature at its best. As you can see, this is no picnic basket lunch. Instead, it's a real lunch complete with stemware and proper place settings. Following your afternoon game drive and en route back to camp, enjoy an African tradition, sundowners. Enjoy a refreshing cocktail or soft drink along with canopies in the bush as the setting sun bathes the landscape in its golden rays. This is one for the memory books. On another AHI exclusive excursion, for your final day in the Delta, you embark on a day cruise up the channel to the Guadalupe Lagoon and the Cahobega Labriba. This remote area provides nesting sites for thousands of birds and is a highlight not often available to other travelers. After exploring the waterways of the Okavango Delta, a bush lunch is served. And then on your return to camp, sundowners will be served on the impressive viewing deck at the lodge with camp snacks and the famous Maremi Sunset cocktail. As a special treat on your last evening, the Camp Maremi Choir will perform before dinner and add to the warm memories of your time at Camp Maremi. On your last day in Botswana, a short 20-minute flight takes you to Maun, where your journey of exploration concludes and you begin your journey for home. I think you'll agree this Botswana safari adventure is a compelling, once-in-a-lifetime experience and an opportunity to enrich your life with remarkable experiences and memories of the people and natural wonders of Botswana and Victoria Falls.
Thank you, Deborah. Wow, that sounds like quite a program. Appreciate you presenting it here today. We do have some questions, a couple of which we're going to answer at the end, but we did get a couple questions here about, well, first of all, going back to the first program, yes, on the Cruise Europe, we are offering it in 2016 as well as 2015, and Botswana, we are planning as well to offer in 2016 because both those questions were asked. We have a couple of questions about plane fares, and I think the best thing on a plane fare is actually to just call in and we can talk to you about what your schedule would be. It depends on time of year and depends on a lot of different, on routing and carriers, so that's best to talk with someone here at the office to get an air quote. Somebody else, or this Joseph Presner asked also about inoculations.
Yes. For Botswana and Zambia, where you'll be visiting on this safari program, there are currently no inoculations required. Sometimes, though, a yellow fever inoculation is recommended. It depends on the time, what's going on, if there's an outbreak in any of the countries in that area. So that is the inoculation that may be required, would be yellow fever, and we would advise you of that closer to the date. And it's always recommended for both these destinations that you take anti-malarial tablets. That's not an inoculation. That is something that you can pick up from your local doctor.
And I would always just add to that, the best thing to do is, because everybody's unique, it's best to talk to your own medical doctor and get advice before you go about what kind of shots or preparation you may need for the trip. So I would just say that we're not medical people here, but we would just recommend that you talk to your doctor about that and check with the World Health Organization as well. And we would, of course, alert you of anything that is out of the ordinary. And Deborah, what about visas?
Yes, you need a visa for Zambia, but you can get that on arrival. No visa is required for Botswana.
Perfect. And then, there's been a lot of talk in the papers about Ebola. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we have had some questions on that already. We're operating right now our East Africa program, and there were some questions on that. Our programs are running as scheduled, but it has led me to monitor the World Health Organization website. I feel that they have the most accurate information without sensationalism. As a result of monitoring their website, I know that they have not recommended any travel restrictions now or in the future, and that we'll continue to monitor that. And also, as a result of all this checking, I looked up and can advise you that Victoria Falls in Botswana are 3,495 miles from the affected area. That's comparable to the distance between Atlanta and Fairbanks, Alaska. So we currently do not have concerns that our travelers will be at risk.
Thank you, Deborah. And what about the degree of difficulty for this trip? Is it strenuous or is
it? Well, actually, it's quite easy. You spend most of your time in either a safari vehicle or a boat. They're comfortable. You do need to be somewhat able to climb into a safari vehicle, climb up a step or two, or step into a boat. But there's very little walking on this program.
Perfect. Well, Deborah, thanks again for your presentation. I want to thank everybody for listening. We do have one additional question is about wondering if we've had to cancel trips recently because of political and health situations around the world. And no, we've been operating programs in Africa, both in East and South Africa, just as normal. And the rest of the world so far we've been fine with as well. So no, we've not had to respond to that. We've been able to operate all of our programs. I want to thank everyone for listening. Should you want more information, our AHI travel website can provide you with more details about this exciting travel opportunity. If you wish, give us a call, and we will be delighted to tell you more about it and put brochures or our catalog in the mail to you. Please join our Travel Insiders program on our website to receive AHI travel updates and details about special offers, interesting travel tips, and future webinar presentations. This concludes our webinar event for today. Thank you so much for listening, and we wish you happy travels to all of your destinations. Thanks so much.